very simple today. We really would like to, we have, alhamdulillah, 3 speakers tonight. And I'm going to invite one by one. But before I invite, I just want to take a moment what actually the objective is, what you're really going to see. So alhamdulillah, we have our Imam Wajid, who will come here to really say a few words as we are getting ready for Ramadan and what we need to do to really make this Ramadan the best experience for our community, right? And what it means to take care of this amana. So our Imam Wajid, from spiritual perspective, from religious perspective, is going to share his thoughts. Then we are really going to invite our brother Sheba, who is I'm not sure everybody knows, he is really leading our custodial team, who is working day and night to keep our masjid clean. And last but not the least, inshallah, we'll have Brother Maqsood, our VP of Building Maintenance and Sport, who works day and night. All the great change you are seeing, he is the man behind it. So with all that, inshallah, let me invite Imam Wajid.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Let's start first with, we're only 2 weeks out now. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma balighna Ramadan. Oh Allah, allow us to reach the month of Ramadan. Oh Allah, allow us to reach the month of Ramadan. Oh Allah, allow us to reach the month of Ramadan. Say Ameen, because none of us are guaranteed it. So we ask Allah for it. Ramadan comes with a lot of different things, every single year. There's some people who focus mostly on the best food that they're going to eat throughout the whole year. Right? No, just me? Okay. Others about coming to the masjid all the time, praying tarawih behind someone who has a beautiful voice, about getting to do iftar with other people or go to iftar parties with other people that you don't generally get to spend a lot of time with. Ramadan is about a lot of aspects of social relationships coming together. It's a very important idea, right? It's a very important concept. Because we're a very social religion. We pray in congregation, we pray in jama'ah, we're together throughout the year, we are one Muslim ummah all together. And then Ramadan comes and we see that exemplified even more. Right? We see it in all of the different aspects of taking care of the masjid, taking care of ourselves. It's not about just me, just me, just me. Even if we're at home, most of the time we eat with our families, even if we don't get to do that outside of Ramadan. When we come to the masjid, we get to talk to people that we may have not seen in a very, very long time. So this time period right now, and then throughout the month of Ramadan, is about preparation. Preparation for those social gatherings. Preparing our heart, preparing our mind, preparing ourselves to get to this point where we can cohesively be together without one person shooting the other person in the face. I was just making sure you're awake. That's not going to happen. Right? Okay. The presentation is going to be afterwards. I'm still talking. All right, let's talk about a few things. Few very, very important key things that we have to keep in mind in order not just for everyone else to have a good Ramadan, but even for us to have a good Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ tells us what about tahara? Tahara is what? How much of iman is tahara? Shatrul iman. It's half of iman. Tahara is half of iman. Tahara comes in many, many different forms. Because the concept of tahara is what we call nidhafa, cleanliness. We have the cleanliness that we have to do, when you use the bathroom or you have to take a shower and things like that. And then there's other forms of cleanliness as well. Keeping our space clean. Keeping our bodies clean. These are important concepts. Now imagine, because I'm pretty sure everyone here has experienced something like this. Imagine you come for one of the salahs at the masjid. You come, you walk up the mountain, of stairs. And then you have to go all the way to the, come into New York, you have to go all the way to California to join the line. You finally stand in the line, you say Allahu Akbar, now it's too late, you're stuck. And then you go, you take a breath in. And then the brother next to you, you're smelling everything he ate for the last week, or sister. The joke is that they smell bad. Has anyone experienced this? Raise your hand if you've experienced it. There's no way I'm the only. Jamali, raise your hand. I've stood next to you. You know what it smells like. Go ahead. Do you believe them? Yeah? You think that the majority of people haven't smelled anyone?
No, that I don't believe. But I believe in the one who actually raised the hand.
Oh, yes. MashaAllah. So we have, I think some people are shy because they might be the people. That's okay. It's okay. What happened in the past happened in the past. The Prophet ﷺ told us a very, very important hadith. He said, whatever harms Bani Adam also harms the malaika. Whatever is disgusting to you, whatever is smelly to you, whatever is considered disgusting to you or dirty to you, is the same thing that the angels are also affected by. Now, we know Ramadan is the month of mercy, the month of blessings. We will have classes, we'll have the Quran. The angels of mercy will descend and surround us in the goodness, inshallah. But the way that we present ourselves and the way that other people around us present has a deeper effect in ways that we don't even understand. The angels that are around us are affected when we leave work at 6:30, 7 o'clock and come straight to the masjid and we haven't brushed our teeth since Fajr. So there's a little bit of a smell. And that's why it's natural, it happens. But keep something with you. You spent some time outside and there's a little bit of smell. Keep things with you if you are not coming from home so that you can stay clean. Right? Keep some ittar with you, keep some cologne with you. Do something that you can present in a good smell to the people that are around you. This is not important just for yourself, but it's important to the other brothers and sisters that will surround you, that will be beside you, and for the angels that will be around you. It's critical. We have to care for the angels and what is happening around us because life is not just about me, and me. Life is about us. Life is about us. Now, taking this principle and moving to the next part, Ramadan is a time that we come to see community come together. And a lot of times, there are many beneficial aspects of that. People are preparing iftar together, they're talking who haven't talked in a long time. Some people are reading Quran with each other, they're talking, discussing about their life, their kids meet one another. Good things, right? But sometimes, it's also combined with a little bit of harshness. A little bit of harshness. You know when that happens? It happens when who we say are the youth or the next generation or the kids that finally have a little bit of free time because they're at school all day long and they don't get to see their friends on a regular basis, so they come to the masjid and they start to play. And then some of us get angry. It's understandable. We are also tired. We were fasting all day long and our patience is thinned. But remember this aspect of Ramadan, that community aspect, just like when we are hungry throughout the day, just like when we are thirsty throughout the day, we have patience to hold ourselves back from doing something that would break our fast. We also have to hold ourselves back from our instinct or our gut reaction. When the kids are playing, are we going to yell at them? Maybe scar them? There are some kids who have been yelled at this masjid and they left and they refuse to come back. Do we want others to be like that? Okay, that's one aspect. What about the other aspect? We don't want to harm other people, yes or no? Raise your hand if you want to harm other people. All right, see, they're awake. They're awake. We don't want to harm other people. So that also means that same patience, that holding back that we do when that you know, I was gonna say, you know, those chips are in front of you or the sandwich is in front of you. Then I tried to think about something healthy and my mind just blanked out. That food is in front of you and you hold yourself back. So we're not gonna yell at the kids, but you know what else that also requires? That patience for our own children. Holding our children back is a part of the patience that is required in Ramadan. Teaching our kids in Ramadan that running around and causing disruption is not okay, is a part of the lessons of Ramadan. Teaching them that damaging the masjid is not okay, is a part of Ramadan. Teaching them that the plate that they eat on has to be picked up and thrown in the trash is a part of Ramadan. All of this is about creating exemplary behavior in ourselves and in other people, and manifesting that. Building ourselves to be proper Muslims. Oftentimes it's said Ramadan is that boot camp, but this time we want to think even deeper. It's not just about how much Quran I can read. That's extremely important. But it's also how can I change and how can I have an influence on other people in my family this Ramadan. That's the question that we are asking ourselves this year before going into the month. We only have a few weeks left, and we have to set that goal from right now. What is our goal there? We just completely redid the masjid, and it looks absolutely amazing, but there's already damage happening in certain places. We don't want the kids to stop coming, but we collectively as a community also have to step up to teach the next generation what is right and what is wrong. To not punitively punish them by hitting them, by yelling at them, but we do want to set consequences, right? If your kid, let's say, brothers, let me give you a question. For those who are married and have children, your son is at home, teenage son, yells at his mother. What's your first reaction? What are you going to do? It's okay, you can tell the truth. Huh? Oh, mashallah, yeah, I didn't know you had a teenager. Yeah, so it seems like a lot of people have the same reaction. Right, okay, then that's one reaction. You're not going to run him over with a car, right? You're not going to throw him off the roof. Right? I think some people are thinking about it. I didn't give you the example, please. I didn't give you that idea. But there are certain consequences that we give for certain actions. This year in Ramadan, we are not trying to yell at them and force them out of the masjid, but there have to be consequences for their actions. There was just a little bit of damage done downstairs. Is that fair to say? Is my description correct? No? It wasn't a little bit, it was a lot of damage. It was big damage. It was a lot of damage. It happened in the wall. There's a human-sized hole in the wall. There has to be consequences for that. Otherwise, it's just going to keep on happening, right? So this year, apart from just building ourselves and reading some Quran, we have a larger goal in mind. And what's that larger goal? We are going to exemplify our behavior, our character, and the character of those in our immediate influence. Our wives, our husbands, our children, those who will listen to us, those who are around us all the time. Because this is the essence of tarbiyah. And I'll say one last thing before I finish. I said Ramadan is about patience. The food is in front of you, you don't eat it. That's patience, even though you're hungry. You know, another aspect of Ramadan that is so important, that is often forgotten by most people. You know what that is? Patience is not just that when the food is in front of you that you don't eat it. Patience is not just, oh, you lost your job, you'll say, oh, I trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are they're extreme situations. You know what else patience is? Patience is when I am a regular musalli that comes to the masjid, and I have been taught something about Islam, and then everyone else around me is doing something else, or the administration has set a rule for something else to happen, that I don't try to impose my own view on everybody else. Once a decision has been made, what is the ruling on going against that? We stay silent. There are people who have been put into positions of authority over us, and they make the decision. Once that decision, before that decision has been made, you can speak up as much as you want and give advice as much as you want. But once that has been made, our responsibility is to follow, not challenge. So what does that look like? Let me give you some examples. The masjid says you have to park between the white lines. What is your responsibility? This is not a hard test. What is your responsibility? To park between the white lines. The masjid says no food on the brand new carpets, or no tea on the brand new carpets, or no dates, dry foods that are not even going to damage the carpet, but no dates on the carpet. What is our responsibility? No food, no drinks, nothing. The masjid says your children have to be kept beside you when you pray, or they go downstairs for the kids' service. What is your responsibility? To listen and to obey. As-sam' wa ta'a. As-sam' wa ta'a. To hear and to obey. When the administration has said something, then we follow along. Even though we may not like it. I don't like every single rule that I have to follow. Right? They're telling me I can't bring food upstairs either. You think I like that? No. But still, we have to follow the rules. If we don't follow the rules, then that's where chaos comes. Islam is not a religion like that. When the iqamah was called, everyone was sitting. When the iqamah was called, what happened? Everyone stood up to pray. When the imam says Allahu Akbar, everyone raised their hands and said Allahu Akbar. When he said Allahu Akbar to go into ruku, everyone went down. No one had to be convinced. That's what salah teaches us. It's about unity. It's about unity. It doesn't have to be uniform in every single part of our life. You don't have to believe that 20 rakahs you don't have to believe that 8 rakahs is better than 20 rakahs. But when the masjid is only doing 8, then we say, okay, we're going to follow along. If I want to pray more, I pray more on my end. When the masjid follows a specific set of guidelines or specific set of rules or maintenance rules that we have to follow, it doesn't mean that you have to agree with it. It means that you don't cause commotion to go against it. Just think about this one principle. Are there, except the twins, are there any two people here that look exactly the same? No. Two people don't look exactly the same. Even twins, honestly, there are some differences. So if your outside appearances can differ amongst people, then why do the insides have to be exactly the same? Why do the insides have to be exactly the same? They don't. You're allowed to have your opinions. You're allowed to think different. You're allowed to have a different upbringing. That's okay. But you know what's not okay? To cause disruption and corruption and problems in the grand scheme of the community and on a wider scale. We don't want to do that. That's not what we're going to do. So we're going to listen to the rules, right? Because there's going to be 2 more people that are going to talk about just rules. That's why I made you laugh. That's why this whole thing was like, everyone here is laughing and having a good time, right? Because then we're going to hear the rules, but we're going to hear them and we're going to do what? Hear and obey. Because the masjid has been given to us as a trust from Allah, an amanah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And our responsibility, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, addu al-amanat. We have to do what? Fulfill the trusts that have been given to us. Fulfill the trusts that have been given to us. This is our responsibility in front of Allah. This masjid is an amana. If we don't take care of it, Allah will replace us and bring other people who will take care of it. And we don't want to be amongst those people. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to reach Ramadan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us a cohesive community that comes together in the best of times and in the worst of times with unity, being united, not divided. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the patience to be able to follow the rules that we want to follow and the rules that we are against, so long as they are in line with Allah and His Messenger's teachings. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا.
Jazakallah, Imam. Wajid. So, yeah, so like the theme is that this masjid is an amana, and if we don't take care of our masjid, Allah will replace us. So with that, I would like to invite our brother Sheba, who is really leading our custodial team. And Brother Sheba, you have about 5 minutes to come and share your thoughts. Sorry for shortening the time, but I think.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Sheba. I'm the head of the custodial group and also the cleaning services. I'm charged to make sure that the masjid is clean at all times. That is my charge. Now, for the past, we lack a lot of adequate resources. So we've not been able to keep up with the task. So this year, and some of the areas affected are the bathrooms, the social hall, the cafeteria, and the musalla here have been, severely affected by what we're supposed to do, cleaning the masjid. So this year, with the new administration and the support of the board, we have a lot of backing, and my team and I are now bringing a lot of resources to make sure the masjid is clean at all times. So, having said that, we need your help. This masjid is amana. It's not for the board, it's for all of us. So we all have to join hands. My experience for the past 2 years in this masjid has been keeping the masjid clean. It doesn't matter which company, it doesn't matter how you put it. If all of us do not join our hands together, take the responsibility, it's not going to work. Imam just said, the masjid has spent a lot of money, fixing, making it beautiful, but within a week, we start, seeing holes in the walls. All right? So we have to take responsibility. Now, the last thing I just want to ask all of you is, we need your help. Ramadan is coming. High traffic time. We need your support. When it comes to Ramadan, we have a plan, we're going to have a timeline, all right, between Asr and Taraweeh time. We're going to have a timeline for serving the food, timeline to clean up, all right? So one of the best things everybody here could do, all of us, is to make sure at least, the least you could do is when you finish eating, if you can just take the plate and dump it, that would help a lot. As simple as that. So please, we ask for your help. I know it's not very difficult thing to ask, but it's all about the responsibility. So Ramadan is coming. We need your help. Please help us to keep the masjid very clean. I would like to thank the previous administration, Brother Osman, and the new administration and the board for all the support they've given us. All right, so we all committed to this, so please let's make it happen and enjoy the Ramadan, make it the Ramadan the best ever. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah, Brother Sheba. The Sheba is actually very humble, and I witnessed the passion that he brings to the job, and alhamdulillah, may Allah bless him and his team, right? So as he's mentioned that he needs your support, he needs all of our supports, and even one team, if they work day and night, they cannot keep the masjid clean without our support. So let's keep that in mind. Now, last but not the least, I would like to invite our VP of Building Maintenance and Sports. So Brother Maqsood, to be honest, I just want to say a few words about him. May Allah bless him and his family. He's our legend. Like when I took over as the president, I was not sure whether I can really take this role. And he made this job for me so easy. May Allah bless him. May Allah put barakah in his time and his risk. So with that, I would like to invite him to really share some of the practical stories. And one thing, just keep in mind that in terms of the financial, like we just spent over 100,000 in this masjid. So any damage to this masjid, it has a big financial damage as well. In addition to taking care of our masjid, this is amana, like we said. So Brother Masood is really going to share some practical examples, and then think about it, how you really can step up and help Brother Masood and team and our team overall. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. How much time I have, Rafiq bhai? Okay, inshallah. I want to start by just having a little interactive session here, and I want to ask all of you a quick question. When you come to the masjid, and when you see specifically last 3 or 4 months, where we have seen so much of infrastructure improvement, from new carpets to men's bathroom, have you ever thought about like who's bringing all these supplies, who's paying the bills, who's making sure that we have paid for the electricity, that we have these lights on, who's locking the masjid at night, who's unlocking the masjid in the morning for Fajr, why we always make sure we always have someone to lead the prayer, when you come in, all the musalla, all the other places are organized, clean, the bathrooms, all the supplies from paper towels, everything is in order, the bookshelf, the idea, where did it come from? Have you thought about like why we have these new carpets, the color, the paint and all that? How many of you think like that? Who is behind all what's happening in this masjid? How many of you think like that? When you come in and you see like, this is a 10,000 square feet musalla, the whole masjid is 50,000 square feet, your master bedroom is 300 square feet. So just to give you an idea, so hard for you to clean your master bedroom. This itself is a 10,000 square feet. And our social hall is roughly around 7,000 to 8,000 square feet. Have you thought about it, like who's running all this, right? How many of you think like that? Just raise your hand. If you don't think like that, that's okay, that's fine. So those are majority of them board members, so they have to think about those things, right? But I want you to think about that. Start thinking about that. Brother Rafiq, when we started, you had this vision of making sure this masjid is clean, right? That's an individual goal. That's my individual goal as well, right? But unless this becomes a collective goal, doesn't matter how much effort I personally put in, my maintenance team put in, or Brother Rafiq put in, it's not going to work, brother and sister. So I want you to think of it in a way, develop a thought process. When you come in, I can personally say like, I feel like what I could do, there's so many people doing so much, I want to be able to do something as well. And just know that whether you do something or not, this masjid will progress. If Brother Ramzan, he's here, he thought, okay, after I would leave, this masjid will stop. That didn't happen. We had Usman. We had Brother Rafiq. And if he thinks this masjid is going to stop after he leaves, that's not going to happen. Someone will take care of it. It's usually a handful of us who are taking the masjid along, right? So if the masjid is going to work and keep on running, why not just put your hands into it and get some barakah, right? So think about that, because we really need volunteers. We have a small team. We have 12, 14 volunteers in our building maintenance team department. They do a great job. I'm very fortunate to work all of them. Brother Abid is here. Brother Hassan is here. They have done an incredible job, and they're very supportive. Every time I or Brother Rafiq have reached out to them, they have been very supportive. But we need more people. We need a lot of people who needs to be, I think we had this session 3 weeks ago. We were talking about this really is a full-time job. We need a building inspector or a building maintenance guy. And we are very fortunate that we have good volunteers, that we are able to save $60,000, $70,000 per year just because we are able to do it ourselves. Subhanallah, I want to talk about now some of the challenges we have. I think Brother Rafiq is running some slideshow Unfortunately, didn't have much time to put it together in a presentable way, but this is what I could gather in my cell phone. So what you're seeing is some of the violations that we published a policy document. And again, I want to remind everyone, this policy document was put together by building maintenance teams. Again, we are a group of 12 people. Once we had that, we actually submitted it to the ELT members. They reviewed it. It was then presented to the board. They reviewed it. The two imams reviewed it. We got their feedback, and then we made changes. And subhanAllah, you can still smell the smell of the new paint. In last 2 days, we have 2 wall damages. Just now, moments ago in the gym, we have this big hole. And there's a big hole right there in the women's section close to the window. Yes, this just happened before the Isha, right? We just got this painted, we just got this repaired. I am actually beginning to think whether these walls are so fragile that, you know, they get broken pretty easily, or we really need to work on our, you know, these kids. They, mashallah, I'm sure this requires a lot of force to break this. So roughly we have spent 140K since August, including carpets, restrooms, and all that. We could be spending more money, but if we really want to be respectful to our donors, we should start respecting all the assets within the masjid. And that has to come primarily from the parents themselves. They need to talk to their kids, especially with Ramadan coming. Everybody will be here. There will be many people here. It's really going to be a challenge to manage those kids. And another thing I want to say, you know, initially I started my talk saying you need to have a mindset, like a thought process. All of us should have a thought process that when you see something wrong, and we've seen this at so many places, when you see something wrong, you speak up. So if a kid is running around in a space where he needs to be not to be running around, take a moment and talk to the kid, or just very nicely, respectfully ask the kid. In the worst case, if the kids is not listening, just reach out to one of us. There's always a way for us to find out the name of the parents, and we can give them a call. That's what we have been doing recently. So the 2 wall breaks that we happen, we're gonna find out. We already know the parent of one kid. We're gonna find out the parent name for the other kid, and then we're gonna talk to them. And in this case, if the repair, which Brother Khalid is here, I'm gonna get a quotation from him. If it's a lot, then the parent will have to pay. That's the way going forward, because things are very, very expensive. And again, I want to love, this is to my first point. You may feel like, okay, we need to fix this wall. It's so easy to make a phone call and somebody will come in and do the wall, repair it, and that's all. No, it does not work like that, brother. You have to work with the schedule of the contractor. You have to work with the schedule of the vendor. Then you need to get the supplies. Then you get the supplies, you get it delivered to the masjid. Then you work with the guy when he does his work, then he has questions like whether I can do that or not. There are other programs going at the same time. You don't want to interrupt them, so you work around the schedule, around the programs that's going on. And then you review the work. Someone needs to be here in person, and then you have to make payments. A lot of these contractors, they accept cash. So I want to bring up one thing. One of the brother, I think this was in August, mentioned that we don't pay our contractors money in time. I can say since August, that has not happened. And if it has happened, one of the reason is, and you should also know this, our contractors wants cash, okay? So if it's a $5,000 contract, we don't have $5,000 at masjid. So it's gonna take us some time to go to bank, withdraw the money, and then give the cash. And we tell them right there up front that we cannot pay you $5,000. They don't want to accept any other mode of payment. So these are the challenges. So if there's a delay, that's the reason. Lastly, I just want to say there are a lot of signs that you will see. Some I have ordered. The building maintenance team, they designed it. They are coming in. And they are just reminders. They are just reminders of our WIC policy. By the way, how many of you had a chance to read the WIC policy? It's been almost 4 months now. Anybody, raise your hand. Abid bhai, you were one of the editor, I think. So, okay, so there are not many people, right? So the least you could do, if you cannot read, by the way, it's only three slides, should not take more than 5 minutes to read all the way through from, going through all the 3 slides. The least you could do is, we have the graphical version of it, which is not there on the walls right now because we just got it painted, but we're gonna put it back. At least just walk around and read those signs, what they say, And then during Ramadan, when, like Brother Shiba was saying, like if you see someone, just leaving their plates, just respectfully tell them, brother, could you please throw your plate in the trash can? It's the responsibility of everyone. I or my building maintenance team cannot be villain all the time. We cannot be the only people who people hate. You all have to stand up and you have to all do it. Otherwise, like I said, it's not an individual. It has to be a collective effort. Other than that, if that doesn't happen, what we are trying to achieve, we will never be able to achieve. So that's all what I wanted to say, Rafiq Bhai. Jazakallah khair for the opportunity, and I want to say thank to Brother Rafiq. He's been absolutely mind-blowing, and he's also the inspiration, and when we look at him, how much effort he's putting in, it gives a lot of motivation personally to me, and keep going. Jazakallah khair for all what you do for the masjid.
Jazakallah khair. So if you don't mind just sitting for 2 minutes. So just to summarize this, right? I know we are probably just have 5 minutes. So I will commit to my promise to finish this within time. So within this 5 minutes, we'll probably have 2 minutes for questions. Just to sum it up, I think like Brother Maqsood, Brother Sheba, and our Imam Wajid reminded us that this is our collective responsibility. On the day one, when I actually took over this role, right, which is very challenging, I have this conviction, and inshallah with Allah's help, we are going to take WIC to the next level. And Imam Wajid says, Rafiq, what do you mean when you say WIC to the next level? What I mean by that is that when we are talking about sharing all these challenges, you probably think like this new administration, they are crazy. Like why they're only talking about problems and challenges? This masjid, we come here for prayer, right? I'm sure you guys are thinking about sick of all of this, right? But for us, right, in general, that's the rule of thumb. Like if you really want to improve, you need to look at the problems and challenges, right? Then you only improve. So we believe in this continuous improvement, and the reason we are really sharing all the challenges that we are really facing, we want, inshallah, to be part of our team. Because like Brother Maqsood said, and like Brother Sheba and Imam Wajid said, this is our collective responsibility to take care of this amana, right? So with that, I think we'll wrap this up. May Allah bless all of you. May Allah put barakah in our risk and in our time. And may Allah help us to take this WIC to the next level. And may Allah help us to have this best Ramadan ever, inshallah, like I predicted when we started it. So with that, I think we have about 2-3 minutes for any questions, answers. Okay. Brother Ali.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I see the masjid is mostly relying on volunteers, and we have a very few volunteers. And those volunteers, they're gonna wear out because they have regular job, they have family, they have. If we don't like increase the amount of the volunteers and encourage people to lift the weight a little bit of these faces, the normal faces we see all the time, doing things, it's gonna be a problem because we're not hiring employees that are on a paycheck, because this is a big masjid. This is 3 floors, and it's not small for just 1 or 2 or 3 people to be running around to keep it in a shape. We have a lot of facility. We have a gym, we have a cafeteria, musalla, and a social hall, plus the bathrooms and all this stuff. I mean, I want people to step up because you have a center like this that has a lot of programs, has 24/7 like running. We don't want to lose it. We don't want to like get it like slip out of our hands if we don't step up and decrease the hour for those volunteers that they come in here all the time. And my next question, are we gonna be doing Ramadan on the social hall on those rugs, or these rugs gonna be changed?
Yeah. So let me answer the first question first. So absolutely, we are always welcome any volunteers. And one thing that we did was that we really put together the operating model and like all those 7 functions that we share with all of you. If you haven't read it, or if you really want, I'm happy to really share that copy. So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities. So whether it's in building and maintenance, or in the finance, or in community engagement, or in the volunteer and the community services, or WIC social services, we have plenty of opportunities. So please come and talk to any of us, whether it's the board members or EC team, right? So, and Brother Maksud said, we always shout off the building and maintenance. That's probably really the team that's really more active and very hard job is really always. So any volunteers, please step up, and you're welcome always to be part of the team. Second, I think we are still working throughout, like how we are going to do that, like whether we are going to replace and all that. We are going to renovate the social hall, but it's going to be, we have decided to really delay that until after Ramadan. We don't have enough time to renovate our social hall. There's some plan, but I think that we are going to finalize after Ramadan. That's a short answer. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Brother Rafiq, mashallah, first really commend you and your team. You guys are doing an amazing job. So this is from the core of our heart. And I'm sure everybody realizes that. Too bad that the crowd has gone away for you and all that. But going forward, I think it's always to build it, but to maintain is always the hard part. So you guys are putting your time, money, effort, and sweat. But exactly, you will hurt when you see a hole in the wall and say, look, it's not even 1 week and what has happened. So for that, my suggestion will be that you should seriously think. You have to have a very strong custodian whose job is to make sure roam around. Don't be the villains yourself. You shouldn't, really, because you have to have a public relation. Your job is to rather come to the community, appease them, make their recommendations, solicit their opinion, and ask them for donations and all that, right? If you are going to be harsh, people will be trying to turn away from you. And we shouldn't put you in that position. As a board, it's our job also to support you guys, that you shouldn't be the villain and you shouldn't go there. For that, I will highly recommend that you should start seriously thinking. You have to have a position of a custodian, a paid custodian, whose job is to monitor, make sure the doors are closed, make sure that who is here without permission and why they are. This is not a dumping place for even the humans to be left behind, especially kids for any program, or even adults that they just come, socialize, and then don't care what is happening in the other corner. We all have to be responsible. So Jazakallah, continue that effort. Don't be disheartened, all that. This will come, this will happen. And as the brother said, I will echo that. The volunteer pool has to increase, and for that, seek Imam's help. That every time there is a program, like every Halaqa, he has to remind the people, please come, this is our EC team, contact them and pitch in whatever time you are going to put. Because if he doesn't say true parts, he has to solicit the volunteers, remind them, and number 2 is the upkeep of the masjid. This clean, like he said today, 3 minutes, every Halaqa remind. The reminders help. People are not going to change otherwise, you know. Where to put the shoes, where to park your cars, what should you do? Constant reminders, but Imam should pass on this message every time. So please work with them that he should continue to that. So Jazakallah, may Allah bless you. And inshallah, you will be great and really taking the center to higher levels. Keep up the team.
That's the last question, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. I have a quick feedback on the damage, which is pretty damaging, I understand. I think one of the best idea and simplest idea is that, you know, as visual in our work, we have briefing in our office or at, you know, parents can have briefing at their home, you know. They tell that, hey, you guys, you know what, me, mama, and the kids are coming along. We don't want any issues at the masjid. I don't want you to do anything wrong. The parents need to train their kids at home. Education starts at home. I think that needs, if we as parents decide that, because, they are going to go, our kids are going to go into the society tomorrow and they are going to reflect it. If they're going to do it in office or somewhere else, it's very, very damaging. I mean, being the president or vice president is good. I mean, you cannot be everywhere all the time. So I think as parents, we need to step up. Before we come to the masjid, we tell our kids, we don't want any problems, I don't want you to do anything wrong. I think that will work, maybe, inshallah.
No, that's a great idea. Jazakallah, Brother Rahman. Maybe you can help us to really outreach and help us to really kind of socialize this program, inshallah. Jazakallah. With that, inshallah, we'll conclude. May Allah bless all of you. Let's really enjoy the dinner downstairs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I know some of our sister got impatient because we prolonged it. We apologize for that.